Hello my succulent friends, it's me Suze. So I'm just chilling. I was busy girl this morning moving pots around. You can't tell from the view that you got right now. I got my camera on the stand so I can relax my hands. So I'm actually vaping, not smoking, vaping. These are vape pens, they're disposable. This is apple flavored. So they're actually helping me give up cigarettes, which is kind of cool. So I just took a good drag. And they come in different flavors. So anyway, I'm just chilling. I've had a shower, I've freshened up a bit after doing my work this morning. This stand is quite cheap and it's not easy to rotate and show you things. You've got to sort of retighten it up. So I tidied up all this area over there. I had some big old pots there that I didn't like, so I moved them out and tucked them around the corner. See my dog there? I don't know what's got his attention. I think he's sucking because he wants to go out for a walk or something. Anyway, I was thinking about different channels and stuff. I just pick it up and move it. And yeah, I sort of touched on this before. Like, I really like Laura Eubanks' design for Serenity, or design with Serenity, something like that. She was the one who really inspired me to give landscaping a go, and I really like her attitude about stuff. She doesn't fret about things, and she enjoys doing a lot of cuts and cutting off roots and resetting and that sort of thing. So she taught me a lot. And obviously the guru, Deborah Lee Baldwin, she is amazing, isn't she? And I just love her demeanour. She's just so softly spoken. She's just a polite lady with a wealth of knowledge, and she has a real creative flair when it comes to arrangements and stuff. So that's where I got my arrangement inspiration for pots and stuff from her. And then Chuck from Escapades. Now, I really miss that bloke. I tell you what, he was awesome. He's so clever. He's so smart. And now that I make videos, I sort of view his channel in a whole different level of respect, because he gets in front of the camera, he had all the equipment, and he's cruising around his suburban backyard showing you all these little bits and bobs, and I really enjoyed that. I miss him a lot. But other than those three channels, I don't watch a lot of. Those are the ones I would watch consistently. Oh, and then there's that, I think it's AA Johnny, don't quote me, but he interviews James Luca, I think is his last name, James from Succulents Australia, and I really love trying to absorb anything that James has got to impart on us. But other than those ones, I don't watch other videos religiously, believe it or not. I have other interests that I like to watch videos on YouTube outside of succulents. Sometimes you can get sort of like a succulent overload, it's just a lot, especially when you're on Facebook and Instagram as well. But there's another teacher I was reflecting on yesterday. This is where I'm going, and his name is Simon Moran, and he was the founder of the guy who made a succulent Facebook group called The Succulent Library, and boy, that used to be a really great Facebook succulent group to hang out on. And I met some really some other fellow Australians who are just as insanely addicted as I am, and we hit it off, and there's sort of like a little posse of us, a little crew that probably generated out of that group. But that group is not the same as it used to be, and that's because Simon sort of bowed out from it quite suddenly, actually. I think he had a little bit of overkill, a little bit of exhaustion from trying to run that group. It grew very quick, thousands of people, I guess, I don't know, lots. And it was fun because he used to have competitions, and I guess he needed help with the administration from it, so he got some really good support from some people who were the administrators. And where am I going with this? Well, he was the one who taught me a lot. That's what I really wanted to say. He used to be a wealth of knowledge. He was the guy who actually helped me understand systemics, because mealies are a topic that comes up all the time in these groups, especially with people who are first discovering them and not knowing what to do. Obviously, you reach out for help, and there was always so much conflicting information. Everyone's got their own methods and attitudes towards it, and he would always be consistently talking about systemics. Sorry, I got interrupted. So yeah, he was the fellow who taught me about systemics, because he was always replying to comments. Try to change the view a little bit. How about that? So he would. Oh. Yeah, so he would always answer, systemics are the only way. Don't worry, don't even bother with all the other stuff. But people would ask him where he got it from, and he would mention some sort of horticultural place that was nearby him, and it just got a little bit in the too hard basket, because, obviously, I'm sure many other people did too, ran down to Bunnings trying to find it there, and they don't stock it. So then you're kind of scratching your head, like, where do I find this magical systemic stuff? And eventually I found them on eBay, and I mentioned it once in a post, one of those posts, and so I just took a screenshot of it and how much I paid for it. And he's like, oh, God, why'd you pay that much for it? When you buy it from this place, it's like, obviously it's a bigger quantity, and you break it down. It's definitely goes a lot further. But I said, oh, look, it's just easier to buy it off eBay. And he's like, well, let me send you some of mine. I mean, that's how much of a good guy he was. But, and anyway, so there were other things that he taught me too, like in regards to crests. People were always asking for help for ID on crested succulents, and he would try and explain that the thing about crested succulents is they never flower. Did you know that? I didn't know it at the time, but then I thought about it. I thought, yeah, no, they don't flower. So because of that fact, you can't really hone down and lock in what the correct ID is like you normally could. Birds are flapping around. I thought we might try and see if we can capture them. And so I might as well take a drag while I'm just catching my thoughts again. Sorry. Yeah, these vapes, they're alright. Tasty apple. Yeah, and so, without flowers to identify, you can't really, with a lot of certainty and confidence, know exactly what they are. So that is something else I learnt from him. And as well as learning that, if you really want to identify your succulents, flowers are really the only sure way of doing it. Speaking of identifying, he also had 2 few other sister pages. I mean, many of you may be a part of that, especially other Australians who are watching my channel. You know, you might be a part of the group. And so he had a couple of like other, I might have said channels, I meant Facebook groups. So the other one was an IG group, specifically just for questioning, you know, asking for help for IDing your plants. And far out, he knew so much. He could nearly identify nearly all of them, which, you know, I took my hat off to him. So he lives in some, so I've talked to him a lot. We actually got quite close at one stage. We were messaging each other a lot. And he lives in some very off the grid, probably small town, rural sort of situation. Very, very different situation to me, being in suburban, working class suburban sort of suburb, metro, I guess, you know, is what I'm trying to say, the burbs. And I don't know, I think his life was a little bit tough, but anyway, I digress. So yeah, so he was just awesome with IG. He knew a lot about beheading and stuff, which was all very new to me back then as well. But around the time that the COVID stuff started happening and Black Lives Matter was happening, everything was getting a little bit crazy. And you know, the woke PC culture was just really grating his nerves, and I think he just couldn't hack it anymore. So I think he bowed out from the internet, and he basically handed his group over to you know, other people, and said, I won't be responding anymore, I need to back out. So I do miss him. The group's not the same, but anyway, I really wanted to just give him credit. Not that he'll listen, I don't know, maybe somebody might know of him and point him in that direction, mention I talked about him. So yes, Simon, I miss you. Though, you know, being a bloke running a succulent group, which is predominantly women, you know, he was like a rooster in a hen house, and all us chicks were just, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but that's sort of the analogy I sort of think of. And you know, in a big group like that, there's always little things you have to sort out with administration. I guess you've got a lot of rules and stuff in groups about, you know, courtesy and being polite and other things. And I guess you just got sick of all the drama with that stuff behind the scenes that we probably don't realise that's happening. But anyway, enough about him. So I was wondering, has anybody noticed there's a particular type of succulent I don't have, and they're very common and quite admired and quite sought after, but they're not for me, not at all. I'll give you a couple of moments to think about it. Give you a clue. A lot of them, actually, I don't know, I think they are. This is how much I know about them. A lot of them are Echeverrias. Oh, they're parrots. Just saw a flush of red and yellow. It's the bumpy ones. I can't stand them. What are they called? Carunculated or something? I don't know. I don't even know how to say it. That's how much I'm not interested in them. And I wrote that once on Facebook, like, you know, I'm going to admit something I don't like, the bumpy Echeverrias, and, you know, I got a few a lot of teasing comments back, you know, oh, what, why, you know, from those ones who just adore them. I don't know, they're just weird and I don't like them. And I've had Echeveria oh no, what's it called? I've forgotten. Oh, Barenbold. I got my bee's name mixed up. Barenbold. I've had some of them from time to time, and they're alright. But I don't know. I think I'll put them in the diva category. So if you grow them and you grow them well, especially those ones, I think that's a little bit boring. Birds aren't. I can't seem to ever capture those birds. Anyway, yeah, if you happen to be able to grow them well, kudos to you, because I got a feeling they might be a little bit fussy. Just a hunch. And I think there's one that's got the word tongue in it, or the bumps look like a big giant tongue. The colours on those can get really quite striking, I will admit that. They're just not for me. I'm not interested. I was thinking about it last night. It's funny. This is what a succulent addict I am. I was thinking about it last night. What type of succulents do I prefer? And I got out my notepad and I started listing them. I don't have it handy, so I have to sort of go off memory if I'm going to try and list them. But echeverias, however you wanted to call them, they are definitely on the top of my list. All the graptos, Graptopedilum, Graptosedum, Graptoveria, love all those because they're just fast growing. They got beautiful colours, and yeah, definitely like them. Sedums, Sedivarias, yes, that's up there as well. Crassulas, love those. What else do I like? Oh, Aeonians. Definitely love Aeonians. Ones I don't particularly like are Haworthias. I've done that. They're okay. They just don't wow me. So I haven't bought any of those in a long time. I'm not really that fond of echeverias that get big, mainly because it's just a size issue, really. And the large leaves get on my nerves when the bottom leaves are on their way out. They're just starting to dry up. It takes a long time for them to pass, and as I've said numerous times, I don't like taking leaves off prematurely. So they can look a little fugly at times. So yeah, they're probably up there as well. Aloes are alright, but they don't wow me. And then we could talk about cactuses. Yeah, I love cactus flowers. Who doesn't, really, right? And obviously I'm opposed to the prickles. I know you can handle them with tongs and all that stuff, but it's mainly because I might have a cactus close by to a succulent that I'm trying to remove dry leaves, and I accidentally prick myself on the cactus, and that gets on my nerves. But some cactuses that have less threatening prickles, and I don't mind them. But all in all, I don't think I'll ever buy a cactus again. I do have quite a lot of them tucked away here and there, so I've got my fill. Yes, and then as far as what kind of forms I like, I definitely like the miniature and delicates. I think they're just adorable. And I love chubbies. Anything chubby is good. I love things that grow in clumps. So clumps and clusters, definitely up there. And as I mentioned in a recent video, any type of succulent that has leaves that point upwards are definitely a weakness for me. And if they've got pointy tips, like, you know, sometimes they can get like a really fine point to it, like they've got little fingernails. You know how I feel about nails, so I really like them as well. Trailing ones are good, don't mind them too. Sort of ground covers, they're okay as long as they're not let wild, because There's nothing worse than a ground cover that's just invading everything. Yeah, so there you go. That's off the top of my head. I'd be curious, you know, how you feel about that. You know, let me know if you want to pipe up and put a little list together. Tell me what your top 5s are. what your weaknesses are, what you can't resist. Crests obviously are up there too. So I'm going to go for a weirdo. Instead of going for a bumpy weirdo, I'd rather go for a congested full crest. But I can take them or leave them, a crest. I'm not, you know, yeah. But I do have a few. I don't mind growing them at all. It's always pleasant when one happens by chance on a plant that you've got that actually happens to crest. Oh, and we can't forget the variegated. Variegated is just, I don't know. Yeah, they're hot. Like, you know, not hot like as in heat hot, but hot. What you doing, my baby boy? You a good boy, Elvis? Hmm? Do you love mummy? Why are you looking at me like that? Oops. Played around with the colour. Anyway, so that's my little yicky yak today. It's a totally different video. I just had something to say, and I thought, why don't I try and say it without being distracted by trying to do some work at the same time. So anyway, big hugs to all my viewers and all my regulars who are always commenting. I'm so grateful. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I don't sound sincere when I say it, but I truly am. I don't think I do anyway. All right, enough of that babbling. Perhaps I should go find something else to do now. All right, take care, my friends, and I shall talk to you soon, no doubt. Bye. I wanted to sincerely thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you liked it and subscribed to my channel. Also, you can find me as S's for Succulents on my Instagram and Facebook page, where I post daily photos with tips and information. So come and hang out with me there. It's a great place to chat and connect. Thank you.